It's Tasty Tuesday and we're baking in my kitchen today. We are making a vanilla lemon pound cake. Why is it called a pound cake? Well, I looked it up, and back in the day in Northern Europe, before they started using the metric system, this cake was made from a pound of flour, a pound of sugar, a pound of butter. What? Crazy. We don't make it like that anymore, but it's still called a pound cake, and it's a very dense cake, usually full of flavor. This one is vanilla and lemon combination. So let's put this together. I'm going to a party tomorrow. I'm taking this cake, and I'm hoping it turns out, and let me share it with you. So first of all, in this, my sifter, it's so rare that I even use my sifter anymore. I have 3 cups of flour. I have a ½ teaspoon of salt, a ¼ teaspoon of baking soda, and I have here a 3.4 ounce package of Jello vanilla pudding. You could also use lemon, but I'm using vanilla. In that goes. That's about as full as my sifter can be. And now we're gonna sift this into this bowl. Sifted all of our dry ingredients and set them aside. And now we're going to use the Mix Master for our wet ingredients. And we are going to start with 1½ cups of softened butter. This has been on my countertop since yesterday, so it's at room temperature. 1½ cups, if you're in the USA, is 3 sticks of butter. It's a lot of butter, and we have a lot of sugar, which is our next ingredient, which is 2 3/4 cup of sugar. And that goes. And next we have 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we have 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Now, I'm gonna put the beater on, and we're going to get that mixed up before we add our eggs. Okay, this recipe calls for 6 eggs. That's a lot of eggs, and it's one of the reasons that this cake is so dense. So I would recommend that you do 1 egg at a time and mix it in. We have our 6 eggs incorporated into our batter, and now we are going to reduce the speed on the KitchenAid and slowly add the dry ingredients a little bit at a time, and each time between I'm going to add a little bit of 8 ounces of sour cream. So let's start that process. That's about a cup. I'm going to do a little bit more. 1.5 cups. And I'm going to add about 1/3 of our 8 ounces of sour cream. And I'm going to do that again until we've used all the dry ingredients and all the sour cream, and you might want to stop and scrape down the sides. So we incorporated our dry ingredients and the sour cream into the batter. It's a very pretty buttery yellow color. And we're going to now add about 2 tablespoons of freshly grated lemon zest. And I'm gonna hand stir that in. Oh boy, does that smell good. And here on my cutting board, I have a Bundt pan, which is what I would recommend for doing this pound cake, but you could always also do it in a loaf pan. I have buttered and floured the Bundt pan generously, and this is going to go into the oven. It's a very long time, an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and 30 minutes, and at 325. So let's get it in the oven, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Look how beautiful this turned out. Doing it in the Bundt pan, I think, is a really good way to go. This is our lemon vanilla pound cake. And now it was in the oven for almost an hour and 40 minutes. I kept checking it with a little knife, and it still wasn't quite done in the middle. So I let it go a little longer than the recipe said. And now we're going to glaze it. And I have here 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. I am adding 1 tablespoon of melted butter and 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Let's mix that up. And that glaze, I'm gonna just use a spoon and pour it over the top. We're not cutting this until tomorrow or eating this until tomorrow. Ooh, that's thicker than I was expecting it to be. More like a frosting than a glaze, but oh, it looks nice. Very pretty. And just a tiny little bit of lemon color. I'm going to add just a little bit more squeeze of lemon. So I have 1/4 of a lemon here, might as well put it in there. And whoops, we don't want a lemon seed in there though. That wouldn't be good. Ooh, yum. All right, that is our glaze. Very simple. And now, let's see if we can drizzle it. It's a little thicker than I was expecting, so I'm not sure if it's gonna drizzle. Might need to get out my pastry brush. You can really smell the lemon. I'm gonna let gravity do its work here, and because I'd like it to drip down the sides. Oh yeah, that's right, it's gonna happen. This should be a hit at the party. I know a lot of people like chocolate things, but I am not a big chocolate fan, and I would much rather have a delicious citrusy dish like this one. It's not less calories, but it seems lighter. In fact, I don't know what the calorie content is, but it's got a ton of butter in it and a ton of sugar. A pound, if you will. It's a pound cake. So there we have it, our little masterpiece for tomorrow's party. I'm pretty happy with it. Looks like I might know what I'm doing. There it is, vanilla lemon pound cake for Tasty Tuesday. I hope you try this recipe, and we'll see you next week.